Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with my review of Assassination Nation. From what I can tell, not many have heard of the movie. In fact, I think I've talked to a few people who have heard of it, and I think now there's a few I've talked to that have heard of it because I told them it exists. So anyway, the basic version of the plot is a suburban town devolves into nigh lawlessness after half of its population is hacked and has their private information made public. The movie focuses on a clique of four high school girls who end up, one of whom ends up very much involved with it in the aftermath of the hack. The short version, in my opinion, is that it's darkly humorous, very violent, still entertaining. It does have things to say, but it's not trying to hide those things. Like, oh, look at this! Look at this allegory. No, it's like, hey, I'm going to beat you in the head with my message. But it works kind of similar to it was Keenan Ivory Wayans in Don't Be a Menace saying message. Only you can tell these are the points where something important is being said, and everything else is just kind of the rest of the movie. Anyway, so cast of note. First off, we got Odessa Young as Lily Colson. She's basically she is the focal character. The movie is pretty much told. She narrates the majority of the movie. She's a high school student and part of the clique that the movie focuses on. Next, we got Harry Neff as Bex. Trans girl and also member of the same clique as Lily. Suki Waterhouse as Sarah, another member of the clique, and Abra as M, again rounding out the focal clique. Her house seems to be kind of the communal home for the group. Joel McHale is Nick Mathers, father of a girl that Lily used to babysit and one of the people in town who gets hacked. Bill Skarsgård as Mark, Lily's boyfriend. More on him later. Annika Noni Rose as Nance, M's mother, and honestly, she kind of comes off as being a surrogate mother to the group. Bella Thorne as Reagan, a prominent cheerleader at the high school. Maud Apatow as Grace, Reagan's best friend. Joe Shrest as Lawrence Colson, Lily's father. Catherine Irby as Rebecca Colson, Lily's mother. Kevin Swain as Danny Colson, Lily's brother. Coleman Domingo as Principal Terrell, obviously high school principal. So, on to the spoiler-free breakdown. Act 1, like most movies, characters are introduced, plot is set into motion. In this case, the plot is set into motion with the hacking of the mayor's private information, revealing that he is, at the very least, bisexual, if not flat out gay. I would lean more towards bisexual, though. But either way, he has been hiding this part of his life from everybody. A couple of days later, the high school principal is also hacked by the same hacker. Act 2 pretty much begins with the principal refusing to step down after what's revealed in his hack. None of it's entirely... It's not as bad as that sounds, but Yeah. Again, it's one of those, you gotta watch the movie. But then afterwards, half the town has their private information made public, leading to various acts of violence committed for a number of reasons. There, you see housewives fighting in the grocery store parking lot because one of them slept with the other's husband. Stuff like that. And we kind of see a lot of everyone reacting to the information that's become known. And while no members of the clique themselves are hacked, Lily is shown to be in some of the hacked material. And this has disastrous consequences for her. A week later, part of the town's population is banded together to find the hacker and mete out their own form of justice. Seeing how they are arming up, let's just say the judge really isn't involved. Lily ends up being implicated, leading the mob of townspeople to seek her out and kill her. The movie ends. There's after an assault on M's house. Basically, the clique, and then with others kind of form up behind them, pretty much go head to head with again the mob of townsfolk. The movie ends though with the actual hacker being apprehended. When asked why they ruined so many people's lives, they simply say for the lull, I don't know, for the lulls. So ups and downs. The action scenes are actually rather clearly edited and shot. None of them. There really weren't any that I recall thinking, whoa, what the hell just happened? It was all very clear. Okay, person A is shooting at B and C, and, yeah, it was kind of, okay, all right, easily follow action sequences, which are not. It's nice to want to watch an action movie a second time or more for the reason of not for the reason of just what the actual hell happened there. Text and IMs are shown on the screen constantly throughout the movie, which, to be perfectly honest, it works with kind of how it basically works to kind of get the idea across that people don't talk on the phone anymore, and that you can basically have conversations between characters happening at the same time during the same exact scene as another conversation, as a verbal conversation is occurring. Each one was each text is clearly stated as who it's from. Honestly, there were solid performances all around. I think I don't know if I was to criticize any performance, it would probably be Bill Skarsgård's, because it's just there's so little of it. It just kind of, there's a point, he's in the first half of the movie and then he's just gone. Joel McHale was also quite good. I was impressed. Okay, I mean, would probably be the word. Now, of course, it's not perfect. The movie is oddly edited, especially in the there's a party sequence early on, and it we like for at one point we see a fight happen between Lily and Mark. That happens. She walks off, and then we cut. It basically cut. Split screens to Bex and M, and it's just all over. It even basically rewinds to the fight with Lily and Mark, and it's why, we didn't need to see the fight a second time, and okay, so you're trying to show as much as possible, which okay, all right, maybe even give you, make it obvious. Yes, these things are happening at the same time. A lot of the characters are really not fleshed out, like, at all. In fact, I would say Em and Sarah really just, I couldn't think of any distinguishing traits about them, except for them as people, except for, okay, Em is black, Sarah is I don't know. Sarah just is. She's blonde, and he's blonde, and she's there, and that's that. A lot of the characters really just don't. I would say Lily, Bex, and Nick are and even to a degree, Mark are the most fleshed out characters. There's some others that get a little bit more development as well, but most of them are just there. There are also some plot points that, to me at least, felt unresolved. So, final opinions, the long form. I think it's darkly funny, but socially conscious, which is an interesting combination. It was extremely bloody and violent final act. In fact, if bloody violence is not something you really go for, I would probably even recommend not going for this one. It has an interesting use of social media within the film in general. I mentioned how text and instant messages are shown on the screen when they pop up. Also, there's a point where you're seeing Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram notifications on a character's phone. So that was actually kind of cool. It worked in the. I feel that it really worked with what happens in the movie, so that's cool. It reminded me a lot of a darker, bloodier version of Mean Girls. And if darkly humorous and violent movies are your thing, give it a shot. If you can get into dark humor, and dark humor, social consciousness, and extreme violence, if you're okay with all three of those being in the same movie, give it a shot. And yeah, there are definitely going to be people who won't like this movie. And to be perfectly honest, I'm still kind of digesting it. When it was over, I kind of sat there in the theater and said to myself, "What the fuck did I just watch?" But yeah, for me, it was worth the view. I'm glad I watched it. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Tomorrow I'll be back with building the team. We're going to talk about building the team, and then we'll get back to the Halloween retro reviews. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified when I put up new content. And links to Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.